Ho 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 ho. Merry Christmas, you people.
What do you mean it's August?
Maybe I'm a bit late. After roughly a third of a year procrastinating, I finally rebuilt World 5 from Mario Bros. DS. So sit down and watch as I destroy your childhoods now. 5-1 starts with a section with a snow spike and some Goombas, where the spike kills the Goombas, but it didn't. So instead I had to add this extra snowball so the Goombas would get assassinated at the right time. A common feature of 5-1 are these weird snow pile things, which like most good mechanics don't exist in Mario Maker 2. So I had to get creative using donut blocks as they share similar properties to the snow. Trust me, they do. Another thing are these trees which drop snow, so I just decided to ditch the tree aesthetic and just put an icicle, because yes. Next up is this weird block thing returning from World 2, which I used the exact same solution for that I did in World 2. And in typical fashion, we ran out of space. But luckily, 5-1 has some empty areas which we can eradicate to make room for the rest of the level, and finishing off 5-1. Next is 5A, which features these stretchy mushrooms of doom. And after brainstorming a few ideas, I decided to have this as our main replacement. Is it a bit buggy sometimes? Sure. But does it work? Eh. An unexpected problem was the mushroom height, because for some reason 5A's mushrooms are tiny and I can't make them that small, so I don't. Later on there's also this button which activates blocks, so that's an on-off block because yes. And after placing all the mushrooms, I head back through the level, adding my excellent stretchy contraption onto all of them. But finally we have a level that actually fits into one sub-area, without any compression, so that's 5A done without many problems. Next up is 5-2, which starts with the section with bricks, which was easy aside from my occasional brain lapse where I couldn't figure out anything. However, after this, the game introduces us to a new enemy, the swoop. So I had to do my own swoop, and it's something.
What the hell is this?
And thanks to my amazing swoop design, this level got a whole lot more unfair. But who cares? Later on in the level there is a section which takes you to the secret exit normally, but because by now you know there is no secret exits in Mario Maker 2, there is no secret exit in this, and everyone is now sad. However, we can do the secret area, and that makes everyone slightly more happy. Only slightly. And eventually 5-2 is finished without many issues. Up next is 5 Tower, which I start creating by making the walls a little wider. The first problem we encounter in this level are the holes in the walls for which the spike balls come from. Luckily, I can just make a one-way rule system that gets the spike ball through. However, as we all know, Mario Maker 2 was conjured up in the depths of hell. The platforms in this game are really weird, and whenever you get squished with them, you just sort of fall through them.
Bye-bye!
Yeah, so I had to remove the floor of the tower so you actually get killed by the lava. Yippee. Later on we find more spike balls, however they're facing the wrong way, and will die. Bayou Springs so they don't die. Later on there's a section that uses a spike ball from earlier to break brick blocks, but because there is no spike ball in this section, and the spike balls collapse once they hit a wall, I had to add one here. However, that was basically the end of our problems, as we were able to finish off the tower without many others. The next level to tackle is 5B, which introduces these snail unicorn things, which I forgot the name of. And since they aren't in Mario Maker 2, I had to recreate them using my big brain skills. After all, they follow you like angry wigglers, and they're spiky, like spike tops. Whoa. But other than that, this level was actually extremely easy to recreate, apart from a few weird lips on slopes that don't exist in the normal game, and the fact that the level border is slightly too high. But oh well. Up next is 5-3, which starts with this massive slope section, which can't fit in one sub-area, so we have to end it halfway through and continue it in the actual sub-area. Another thing that doesn't really matter that much is the fact that this block has to be here in Mario Maker 2 version. But the only other problem other than that is that my snailicorn things are slightly too tall for the level design, so I had to make the roofs a bit higher up. But other than that, 5-3 was very easy. Next up was 5 Ghost House, which features these enemies called bruisers, which obviously aren't in Mario Maker 2 because nothing is, I swear to God. So I had to get creative and make my own. First I thought I could use bob-ombs, but you have to be on one side to activate them and it's kinda weird. So instead I decided to split bruisers into 2 separate enemies. The Monty Mole Thwomp Man, who just walks around and chases you, like the bruisers do. And Big Spike Ball, which breaks blocks, like the bruisers do. Look, I couldn't do both at the same time, I had to do one and the other. It's the only way. And after the bruiser shenaniganery, all that remains is the lift section at the end. Now this bit did have to be ended early, however it was really easy to recreate by using a blue lift instead. Next up is 5C. After taking one look at the map, I realised it's gonna be too big, so I decided to make every sub-area the cave, since that would give me more area for the cave section. Like the Ghost House, this level features bruisers as well, mainly in their spike ball form. A problem we do encounter is that due to my spike ball design, this quote-unquote star coin is rendered unavailable. However, I decided to keep it the same for consistency's sake. After reaching the checkpoint, I decided to build this level's second half in the sub-area, which is also a cave, which features this button which you press and it gives you a time period to get across this gap, which of course I use P-switches and P-blocks. This section also features the return of the spring spike ball experience, and I had to make the gap slightly bigger, otherwise the spike balls would break before they reached the floor. But eventually we were able to finish 5C. Next up is 5-4, which focuses on these mushrooms that go up and down when you step on them. You know what that sounds like? Blue platforms on rails. Another thing this level has is bullet bills without the blasters, and because I don't want to have blasters just falling out the sky, I decided to replace the bullet bills with buzzy beetles. It made sense at the time, I promise. And after all that, oh, it's over. Next up is 5 Castle, which focuses on conveyor belts. However, some of them are too long in the main game, so I just added a bunch of them together in Mario Maker 2. But basically, the entire level was easily recreatable in Mario Maker 2. Besides maybe this bit, where I had to use clouds instead of a bridge, and the boss fight, which I had to get creative for. You see, P.T. Piranha flies down in the air, and then stomps down. You know what else does that? Thwomp. You know what else takes 3 hits? 3 Tower Goomba. Sure, it's not the best thing ever, but it's a thing, and it's there. And with that, the entire of World 5 has been remade. And after a bit of decorating and path placing, the world map was quite easy as well. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do the YouTube things, give me your spoons, and get out of my house.